another video here on the Lil'X YouTube channel. Today we're using full self-driving on our daily commute. We really don't have anything planned today. We're going to go grab some lunch, and we're going to be discussing about how can you use the system for your daily use. As you can see, we are on an open stretch of road. We're going to be pretty much going straight for a couple miles. I believe it's like 20 miles. We have a random address input into the navigation. So we're just gonna see if we have to disengage it multiple times and how many. Since the goal of full self-driving, is to be hands-free, as the name says, full self-driving. You don't really have to interact with the car. The car can just take off. Let's say you can even be watching movies on the display. You could be on your phone, and ideally, one of the big things that Elon Musk was pushing whenever they released this car, or whenever they released the autopilot system, was to have the car be a robo-taxi service. That meaning that while you're at work, you're at home, your car can go out there and make money for you. That is why you have the camera up here that pretty much monitors what everybody else is doing. And there are a couple services already like that, like the Waymo service, which I believe is running in Austin, Texas. As of now, I know they were doing some testing in California. I'm not sure where else. I know Uber had a service for a minute. I don't know if they still have it. But yeah, so far the car is going along pretty good. We're going 70 miles per hour on a 65 mile per hour road, which is 5 mile over. The car has been driving for like the past 20 miles. We have 24 miles to go on this current drive, and so far I haven't had to disengage it. There's nobody behind us, nobody to our right, so I'm just gonna stay in this lane. Ideally here in Texas, the left lane is for passing only, but the car will move if it detects that there's a vehicle behind it. Now my radar detector is going off here. Might be a police ahead, so we're gonna drop down to not the speed limit, but close. A little offset of 68. Now, if they pull me over going 68, I might have an issue there. I mean, I know the speed limit is 65, but it's only a 3 mile difference. Still going off. And so far, the car's been trucking along just fine. No jerkiness in the system, no braking. No, the system will nag you if you have your hands off. Usually what I like to do on autopilot drives is to just rest my hand here on the left hand corner. And if the system does disengage, you'll see it whenever the line goes from blue to gray. I'll disengage it on purpose so you can see. So if I move the steering wheel a little bit, there we go. It went away. It's no longer in autopilot. Re-engage it, double tap, just like so. And it gives you the prompt as to what is wrong with the what happened. Why did you have to disengage? Trailer on the left. Just stop right there. But yeah, and hopefully y'all are enjoying the improved angle. I got a stabilizer, as you can see, so it's not as shaky. And I am recording this using the Pixel 7 Pro, so let me know how the camera quality is. I know I usually film videos with my iPhone 13 Pro Max, but decided to give it a rest today and try out the Pixel quality, so hopefully you are enjoying that. If you are, let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, it's going along just fine. Just the angle there for you guys. But yeah, it's going along just fine. And like I said, this makes the drive to, it doesn't matter where you're going, whether it's a grocery store, go and grab some lunch, like right now, it works. Now, does it work like 100% of the time? No, it does not. It's still, as the name calls it, it's still in beta, which is why you get the nags, which is why, it tells you that every time you enable it, you always keep your hands on the wheel. As you can see here, actually on the autopilot screen, it says full self-driving beta. So here we have the settings for it. We have it set to chill as of right now. since we're not really in a hurry to get nowhere. We're chilling, relaxing. It'll keep a longer distance from the vehicle, and it'll do minimum lane changes. As you can see there, I'm just resting my hand here in the corner on the left hand side, so this doesn't nag me all the time. And just in case if there's an object on the road. Now for bigger objects, I've seen that it does react. There was a not a paint can, it was some sort of tub that was on the road, and the car seen it and it moved to avoid it. So bigger objects it will move for, smaller objects it will not, since it can't really see them that well. I might force it to go on the right lane since there's traffic coming behind us. Like I mentioned, here in where I live, people hate if you're camping on the left lane. Which, like I mentioned, if it's an open stretch of road and there's nobody behind me or in front of me, I'm cool with that. Going along this line. Now, the speed limit does drop to lower speed here. As you can see, drop down to 55. We're, of course, going 58 just to go a little faster. Just if there's somebody behind us, you might not think that 55 is appropriate, especially in the lane where I'm at. It goes up to 60 here after this little tree. And the car bumps us up to 63. This is a car that we're passing here on this way. This is the oncoming vehicles on the other side of the road. We are approaching a set of lights which are green as of now. If they do turn red, the car will stop. No braking, no nothing. Sometimes before it was in previous builds that I've seen on YouTube, the car would be less confident and it would actually brake before it got to the light. Now it doesn't do that. Now our speed limit here changed to 75, so it didn't recognize it, but we'll do it manually so we don't piss off other drivers. And yes, if you might be from a different part of the United States or a different part of the world, we do have some pretty high speed limits here in Texas. I believe the highest is 85 on a stretch of road, maybe San Antonio. As you can see, going 75, being passed. So I will move us over to the right lane. As you can see, the car does the lane change by itself. And I know sometimes it'll, for some reason, say moving out of the rightmost lane for some reason. I have no idea why. I know in some parts of the world, the right lane is the lane that you're not supposed to be in. You're supposed to be on the left. So I'm not sure why. As you can see, it says changing lanes to stay out of the rightmost lane. I canceled it since this is the lane that we're supposed to be on. The left lane is for passing only. Going along just fine, 75 miles per hour. Rest my hand here just in case. Just keep it safe. And there it goes again. It says changing lanes to stay out of the rightmost lane. I have no idea why it does that. I guess if it tries to do it again, I'll just leave it since, like I mentioned, there's really nobody behind us or to the left of us. And here we go. Changing lanes to stay out of the rightmost lane. I have no idea why it does that since the lane that we're at is supposed to be the correct lane. Like I mentioned, thankfully there's nobody behind us. And we just dropped from a 75 to a 65 mile per hour zone. People still don't like to obey it. They still like to go 75. And then it drops to a 55, so we're going even slower now. Actually, I will bump it up to 60. Since I do see a couple vehicles approaching within 65. Drop to 50 miles per hour here. The car does drop. We're gonna leave it at 60. Just because. I'm gonna have a red light here. I'm gonna set of lights. It was yellow and the car thought it was good to go through it. Awesome. You saw they changed it last minute. That is the first time that I see the car actually go through it with confidence. Sometimes I know that it'll brake. Not aggressively, but we will do a hard brake to go to to stop it from going on a red light. But it proceeded with confidence. That's awesome. That's what we like to see. That's pretty much what I would have done in that scenario. We have a 75 mile per hour speed limit. The car just bumps us up automatically. Some rain here soon, so I guess we'll test how the system does in the rain. But so far, as you can see, I'm not sure how long we're 12 minutes in the video. So far, no disengagements. No forced disengagements. The system works best on a long stretch of road. I've seen it like if you have a lot of traffic, in like a city scenario, it will not work as good. But here, long stretch of road, it works perfect. Even with a set of traffic lights, different speed limits, the car works flawlessly. The system works great. Now, like I've been saying, it's not ready for full prime time, but so far, haven't had no complaints. We have a vehicle out here. Thankfully, they didn't pull in front of us. Now, we do have some rainy road conditions. So we'll bump my speed down here. Just in case. I don't want to hydroplane. And we do seem to still be getting some rain here. Yep, we got some rain. So I will be bumping down our speed to 70. For safety. And even us dropping it down to 70, as you can see, other cars are obviously going faster, but they are bigger vehicles. The road doesn't look as wet, so I think we'll bump it up to the speed limit of 75. Now the car does have a tendency, which is good. This is what I like to see. Every time there's an 18-wheeler or a big vehicle on to its right, it'll move just a little bit to the left, which is a natural feeling as to what humans do in that scenario. I know that's what I do if I'm on the freeway. I kind of tend to move a little bit too closer to the left to give the 18-wheeler some space, and you will actually see it here. It'll display it closer to the line. As you can see, the steering wheel moves just a little bit, and then it'll move back to the center after we pass it. There we go. I don't know if this comes good across camera, but it'll stay closer to the left lane. And then once it passes the 18-wheeler or the truck, it'll move back to the middle. And that I like to see. That is something that I wish every automaker did. I know that's what Ford recently implemented in their recent Blue Cruise update. We like to see that. Speed limit drops to 50 this time. I will let the vehicle go ahead and slow down since we have a light approaching. Pretty hard braking there. Pretty hard slow down, but then again we went from going 60 to 50. 53 in our case. Damn. Shit, this is man. I'm telling can see we have a truck. Car did brake. Somebody honked at somebody. Hopefully it wasn't at me. But the car did brake because he thought the truck was actually going to go into our lane. Go back to the map view. We do have to take a right turn here. I mean a left turn here in about 3 miles. So we'll see what the car does to follow the route. There's a sign saying we have some road work ahead. We'll see how that plays out. 18-wheeler in front of us, and it says changing lanes into a faster lane, since I guess he thought that the 18-wheeler was going a little slow. There is a car behind us, so I will speed up just a little bit, just so he doesn't think that we cut it off. We have a set of lights here. Hopefully they don't turn yellow when the car brakes. Beautiful. You can see all the different information here. All the different cars that the vehicle is seeing. That behavior that I was talking about. The car moves a little bit left to give the 18-wheeler some space. Braking for this vehicle. Hopefully the car doesn't try to go into the right lane. We'll go ahead and drop it down to the speed limit here, since we do have a set of lights over here. Unsure as to why the vehicle in front of us ain't going that fast. Sure there's some traffic ahead or something like that. A little bit of wheel movement, but I think it's because we have an 18-wheeler to the side of us, so the car is kind of staying to the left a little more. So far we're keeping a pretty good distance from the vehicle in front of us. And then here we have the cameras with the 18-wheeler to our right. I love this camera view. It allows me to see if there's a car. If the car to the right of me is veering into me, and avoid a collision. But yeah, so far we're doing just fine. We're gonna have our left turn here in 0.8 miles. It's time to take a little sip of water. We are braking for a traffic light ahead. Pretty good braking from the vehicle. As you can see, it has the little dashes there. Shows where the vehicle is going to stop. We're moving on, creeping up just a bit since traffic is moving. There we go. Accelerates natural, just like a regular human driver would. Car brakes. Now the braking is, I guess, a less natural thing from the vehicle. But as you can see, we're going just fine. Light is green. Proceed with no issues. Now this is an area that's not really that familiar to me. The car does move a little right since there's a vehicle in the middle lane. Moves back. A little jerky, but not significantly. We have our turn here coming up. Car brakes pretty significant, pretty hard. So vehicle behind us. Now, like I mentioned, the braking is something that the vehicle can still improve on. Leaving this big gap, while it is safe, it's something that a human driver would not do. And that is something that vehicles like behind you are not expecting. They're not expecting for the car to do what it did. Now we do have our left turn, and then it moves to, I don't know what it's doing. I intervene since we are obviously not supposed to be in the other lane. It wanted us to go to the right lane, and this is what I mean by the car not being ready for prime time. Now our navigation says that we have to take a left-hand turn here. The car for some reason was veering off to the right. I have no idea why. It did say here on the screen. I did not have that much time to see it. I'm pretty sure cars around us are probably like, what the heck is he doing? Now this is the scenario where I say that the car is not ready for prime time. You saw we just had a 15 minute plus time of the system being on, but that's on a straight stretch of road. But yeah, that was on a full long stretch of road. Here, I feel like it's where it has more issues. Now we do have to take a left-hand turn, and I believe none of this lane that we're on is a straight only lane, and we do have to go left. So hopefully we can either squeeze in one of these drivers here, or they will allow us to go left. I'll take that back. We are in a left turn lane. I have no idea why the vehicle wanted to go right. It wanted to go in the right lane, which was wrong. That's why we had to intervene. I will go ahead and take this left turn, just in case the vehicle tries to do something funny. Like I mentioned, it is still in beta. We are on public roads. I want to be safe, and I want every other driver on the road to be safe as well. Now, I do apologize whenever I do have to intervene on videos like this. I know y'all want to see what the car tries to do. So try to, I guess, push it, test the limitations. But like I mentioned, it is not ready for prime time yet. Enable the system here. We'll see how it does in a more city-like street scenario. It's a neighborhood, so I will put the speed down. We have a stop sign ahead. Car stops, no problem. It's a four-way stop. We proceed, no issues, no problems. And then we have a right-hand turn here soon. Pretty nice neighborhood, I have to say. We do have another stop sign here, and I believe here is where we are turning right. That is correct. Now, cross traffic does not stop on this one, so it'll creep up for visibility. I will also check that we are clear, and we are clear on our left, and we have to turn right. So this concludes our drive. We'll go ahead and pull into this parking lot here and get turned around. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.